So we are getting close to the 1 year mark, and the Lord has told me a while ago, you need to share this. And by me wasting time and not doing it, I have been disobedient. So we are going to walk in obedience. I recently heard on a podcast or something, if you're not walking in obedience, you're walking in sacrifice. And that really resonated with me where I am now in my walk with the Lord, because I was walking in sacrifice for so long, leaning on my own understanding, doing things that I wanted to do that was not aligning with His will. I had a situation for years, and I truly loved this man. I did. I truly love this man, and I still love him. It's just different. There was just so many times where he left, or let's just say he ghosted me, and plenty of times where I welcomed him back, because like I said, I truly loved him. And this most recent time, I think subconsciously I told myself, all right, you're gonna give this your all, because we were never really what I wanted us to be in all the time that we were in each other's lives. So I said, I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna give it everything I got. And I think in my mind, that was me saying this is my last time, even though it didn't really register. And like I said, in the past I had been ghosted, so I never really had an opportunity to leave myself. I was always left. And I didn't realize that I was relieved for that, because I didn't have to make any decisions. The decision was taken out of my hand. But this last time, I had to make the decision, and it was one of the hardest things I ever did, because I didn't plan that. But if I really pay attention to how I felt then, the Lord was really telling me, really reaching out to me, this location that you're in, this space that you're in is expired. I need you to move. And like I said, I felt it. I was anxious and nervous, but also scared. Like my head and my heart were definitely in a battle, because I didn't want to leave. I've never had to choose to leave, so I still didn't think I was strong enough to do that. Maybe like the last 3 months, I felt it heavy. Like even he felt it, to where he would bring it up, and I would just be like, what are you talking about? You know, if that comes, I'll let you know. Fast forward, I'm getting ready for a spiritual retreat in Jamaica. And if I'm being honest with y'all, I had spiritual attacks in my sleep for years. But I was on my way to the retreat, and I was telling one of my friends about it on our way there. And she was like, you should mention that to your counselor. My counselor was actually putting on the spiritual retreat. And these weren't dreams that happened like I said, yesterday or a week ago. Some of these were months apart, maybe even a year apart. And I could tell you vividly everything that happened. And not just a dream, like a nightmare. I woke up scared. So I'm in Jamaica at the dinner table with my counselor, the friend that I traveled with. And I'm talking about my dreams, and she immediately brings up, hold up, y'all, let's back up. Because as I'm getting ready for the spiritual retreat, I'm like, okay, we're going to put this relationship in a box. We're going to put it in a box. We're going to mind our business. We're going to pick it back up when we come back from Jamaica, right? I don't know if y'all have ever been on a spiritual retreat, but all of the ones that I've been on, baby, we digging deep. We stirring everything up. I don't even know why I thought that this relationship was off limits as far as discussion, because when I say the spiritual retreats dig up everything that you might think you try, everything. So that didn't work. So we at the table, and I'm talking about my dreams, and my counselor automatically goes into, this makes me think about that relationship. And I hadn't really told her that, you know, I was back in it, doing my thing, I kind of kept it from her. So for her to bring it up, and then us actually dissect everything that was going on, like I had already known it was time to go. Like I said, I already knew it was time to go. So just hearing that was additional confirmation, which still scared me, made me nervous, because I told him that I would tell him when I decided to leave, which again is a place I've never been in before. And at the table in Jamaica, and I pick up my phone to actually like text, because I can't call. And my spirit's just like, you cannot send this text, because you're not gonna leave. So I'm at the table actually crying because I know that already. And I'm crying because it's over. I have to leave you. I've never had to leave you before. And I can't even keep my promise of telling you. It hurt me. But I just appreciate the Lord for being so gracious and patient and faithful, because he gave me so many opportunities to leave. And while I was being disobedient and ignoring him, you know, it took that space and all of that confirmation for me to be strong enough to say, okay, I gotta go. He has more for me. Where I am is expired, and he is telling me to move. It's such a strong feeling when the Lord gives you all these signs that it's time to go. It's time to go. I need you to pick up your cross and follow me. And I felt all of that at once. And it's just amazing how he works, because my last spiritual retreat, we were in Tennessee, and we actually were doing an exercise where we were going to ride up a mountain on a horse. And of course you had to get weighed before you did that. I was the last person to get weighed. The lady was weighing everybody else. She was like, yep, you're good, you're good, you're good. My turn, she says, you barely made it, in front of everybody, of course. So of course I'm upset, you know, old feelings that, you know, I thought I put away about my weight being a big thing, an issue always at the forefront, you know. That broke me down a little bit on site. And me and my counselor actually prayed for spiritual weight loss right then and there. And again, that was in April of 2024, jumped to October 2024. And right after the spiritual retreat, like that Monday I got back home, there was a weight loss plan that I was about to start that required a 2-day detox. Do you hear me? A 2-day detox. So looking back on it, I'm like, now how can you stay in this relationship that's honestly almost at the center of your life, that is not the healthiest, and you about to go through a detox for weight loss, for spiritual weight loss that Jesus gave you? No, baby. There's no way you could do that and keep that. So this whole time he is moving pieces, and all I had to do was give him my yes. He had been moving pieces since March or April. Now we're in October, and he's like, let's go, because I have plans for you. Right? Baby, when I tell you, as soon as I turned my back or said no to the relationship and said yes to follow my God, baby, he is moving. He is making plans. Let me tell y'all, bam, back at work. That Monday, back at work, we watch bam, nothing. Cool. And you know what? Let's backtrack, because Monday, while I was at work, I used to be a claims adjuster. So there was always rumblings of new jobs and new opportunities. We watch bam. Tuesday come, I haven't heard nothing about, you know, Brianna moving somewhere. So I'm minding my business. Tuesday comes, it's about 11:30. Bam, job offer comes. And just a job offer, like, hey, we doing claims adjusting for this carrier. If you can do it, I need you to be in such and such by Thursday. Mind you, it's Tuesday, 11:30. I'm like, oh, okay. We are leaving. Again, looking back on it, Jesus is like, yes, you've closed a door. You are following me. Now I am going to remove you from your previous environment. So these type of situations, everything that you've been in that you said no to, they not even gonna have access to you. So let's go to this other state for this job for 30 days. Meanwhile, again, we still doing a weight loss journey. We got a new job. We moving. We had bam, things is just happening within 48 hours of giving my yes. And it's just so important. It's so important that you have that personal relationship with Jesus, because when you have that, you hear him, you feel him. What I will say is, the person that I was before in 2024, God didn't have my ear. I didn't have, wait, hold on. God didn't have my ear. The world had my ear. My relationship had my ear. That scripture, let those who have eyes see, let those who have ears hear. He didn't have my ear. And when I gave him my yes, he had my ear. He literally, y'all, I'm just so grateful by the way that he held me, by the way that he held me. It was so sacred and precious and comforting. He was so gentle and loving, but he still called out to me. And I just think it's a huge thing. Like I said, if you're not walking in obedience, you're walking in sacrifice. And I was walking in sacrifice for so long. And I'm just grateful that the blinders were off, that he woke me up. And when Jesus tells you to move, it's time to move. He has plans for you. And we can be here thinking that this is the way, this is the right way, but ultimately it's his will and not ours. And like I said, I love that man. I truly did. I still do. But me being in that place was expired. It's been almost a year, almost to the day. In about 72 hours, it'll be a year, where Jesus has completely changed my life. Literally picked me up and put me where I was supposed to be. After that job, and you know what's crazy? Let's go back to the new job that I got October. I forgot what day that was, but October 2024, I got that job. Immediately in getting the job, I saw what month I would be leaving that job. Does that make sense? Like, literally in my head, I saw, you're not gonna be at this job too long. You're gonna be there about 5-6 months. I wanted to be a lawyer since I was 6 years old, and I let worldly things stop me from that dream. Loans, living my life, all of that. So, you know, it just was put on the back burner. Like, I'll do other things. I'll chase the money. I saw me leaving the job that I got immediately after the spiritual retreat in about April. In February, my friend sent me a job. And it actually partnered my degree and claims adjusting as well. And she was just like, fill this out. I said, okay, filled it out, went on about my business. Two months go by maybe, got an interview. Within an hour of the interview, got an invitation to a second interview. Within an hour and a half of the second interview, got a job offer. That job was actually at the state bar working with lawyers. Another way that Jesus is just moving so intentionally in my life. Like, you had this dream. I gave you this dream. Since you were 6 years old, who you don't want to be a lawyer at 6 years old? I gave you this dream. Now I'm about to put you in a room with other people that you can learn from, because this is still a dream. This is still on your heart. This is still one of your desires. I am giving you one of your desires. If I could put you this close in the room to remind you of what you wanted, baby, it's time to get it. I mean, again, just so intentional, just such a loving, graceful, and merciful and faithful God. Like, glory be to God, seriously. And I'm just grateful that he gave me so many chances to give him my yes. And even though I gave him that one yes, that's my biggest yes to date, that will not be the last yes. And he is stirring up in me to continue to give him my yes. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it'll be effortless. I had to die to my flesh. I had to die to my flesh. And I have to continuously remember that not my will, his will. Even when I try to pick up things and control them, like my weight loss, I've been able to keep off 40 pounds for the last year naturally. And I'm grateful. I'm beyond grateful. But sometimes I want to pick up that control to figure out a way to keep it going, to lose faster, to do more. And again, I pray for spiritual weight loss. This is nothing that I'm doing. Only thing I can do is be obedient and pray for the wisdom to keep it. But this is his doing. So hopefully my testimony has blessed somebody. Like I said, it took me almost a year to get this out there, and we are walking in obedience, not sacrifice. So I hope this blesses somebody. Yeah. All right, y'all. Be safe. Make good choices. Love y'all.